You're good? Uko sawa? 1, 2, 3. Hello everybody. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today there's a lot of things I want to talk about, but before that, if you're new here, and up at you, go up here and make sure you click the subscribe button and the notification button as well, so that you can be notified when we have a new video. So as we are talking today, the world is facing several things. The one big one that we all know is coronavirus, and my country, which is Kenya, is currently having a surge in cases. And we'll talk about how that is being shared with us. But there is the issue of the race discussion that is happening in America right now. A lot of people have come out to talk about the events of the untimely death or the unfortunate death of George Floyd. And there are people who are talking about, you know, how the world should stand with America and what we should do to be able to actually also lend our voice to the campaigns against racism in the US. Anyway, to start with, I think there's a lot of things that can be said about, you know, the conduct of the police, not just in the US. This country, we are dealing with a situation where even yesterday, there are reports that someone was shot for having defied curfew hours in Mathare, which is one of our slum areas in Nairobi. And so even as we are urged to talk about issues that are global, I feel personally that we have to take responsibility of issues that are local first. So if you're asking me to go out and demonstrate on behalf of the life of George Floyd or the unfortunate death of George Floyd, it's justified. We are all human. We need to stand with other fellow human beings. But my take is that even as the media and everybody else is focusing on the issues around what happened in the US, we need to cast a brighter light on what is happening in this country. We need to remember that every day there is someone who's being either, you know, clobbered by the police for, you know, being out past curfew time, someone who cannot be able to bury their loved ones because they've traveled from all over in Malindi and got to Nairobi, and past Nairobi and got to Tharaka Nithi, and just 5 kilometers from their house they're being told to go back to Malindi and they have a body that they need to bury. So there's a lot of these things that are happening locally that we have to look at as well as being aware of what's happening globally. How do we ensure that there's a balance? We have to ensure that we are not falling into the trap of, you know, I want to be a part of this hashtag. Hashtags are awesome and they have effect, especially someone talking from the communications perspective. But we have to be aware of our own surrounding first before we go ahead and look at things that are happening out there. When we look at how, for example, the media is talking about certain issues, just take a look at how we are talking about coronavirus right now. There's a small issue of when we had very few cases, there was such a serious push to get people to really understand how grave the situation is. But I've slowly come to realize that the same way the Kenyan has relaxed when it comes to the measures that were supposed to be in place to ensure we don't spread coronavirus, is the same way the media is also relaxed about some of those issues. So we tend to now be going back to talking about the meeting that Atuoli held, or the two ties that match that the deputy and the president were wearing during Jamhuri, or the constant wrangles. If it's not in Ford Kenya, it's in ODM and Jubilee, and the de-whipping of people. And we tend to forget that we are actually in the middle of a crisis or the middle of a pandemic. And our media does this a lot of times. And so for those of us who have a voice and can use it, this is the time to ensure that we are reminding people that, guess what? If you thought it was bad when we were getting 20 cases a day, we are now doing 147. That is just pointing to one thing. we have community spread, and it's spreading like wildfire. And let no one lie to you that this thing is not really killing people, because we are only documenting a few number of people who we know. There might be people who are dying in numbers and no one has recorded them. But yeah, I mean, today I don't want to go into my usual, which is talking about my work. I just thought to share a few ideas in terms of what I'm observing with regards to some of the things that are currently hot topics globally. I think I'll end it there and leave it to you guys to tell me what your thoughts are in terms of, the coverage with regards to the racism issue in the US, police brutality that is everywhere almost, especially in this country, and how you think we should, as a people, respond to police brutality, and should we join the bandwagon that is saying Black Lives Matter, and since as we don't know anything else apart from Black Lives, how do we ensure that the Willie Kimanis and the Samuel, is it Samuel Maura or someone, that were some killed at the hands of the police and some seriously hurt, also get justice? And yeah, let's leave it at that and say rest in peace George Floyd, but also rest in peace to all those who actually died at the hands of the police in this country. Remember, go up here to subscribe, like this video, leave a comment, and let's meet on the next video. I promise to bring you guys a young man called Victor Ocheng, who's on his way to the US to go and study abroad, but he's looking for ways to be able to actually raise the resources needed to go there. So I think that would be my next video. If not next, then the one after that. We'll have a chat with him and just find out what the journey has been like, and what he intends to do, and what he's going to study in the US, and whether he'll even make it, seeing as the borders are closed. Anyway, that's all for today. Tuonaneni in the next video. Adios.